Napoleonic looking. You know, that period. You see another, oh, that's World War I, the round of the hat. We can tell it, because we know timelines. We know Peter Zinger's trial in 1735, you know, for freedom and all of that, the right, free press in America. They don't have that. I've been asked, were you born in slavery? I said, how long is that? 7 years old, how would be born in slavery? But it seems like it's so far back to them, because we talk about, well, we had wagons, and we had mules, and we had, you know, all of that stuff. So to them, that was
slavery.
Well, technically, you know, we lived just like people. Remember, if you didn't have electricity, if you didn't have all that telephone use, you had pumps to get your water. It was just like living. There was no difference between 19th century or 1880 and 1945. We just lived the same way. It was electricity. The TVA down there in Tennessee Valley, thing that gave electricity all them people, and it changed their lives. Changed their lives. Let me get back to what I was talking about. Okay. So it's a new era. Global awakening. America is alone. And you could ask them, we could talk about that if you like. America's alone, not Iran. Iran has sympathizers. We believe it's part of our assignment. Part of our assignment is to write that manual for this period. We're writing it now. That's what we're doing. We're writing the manual for this period. How should you think? How should you act? And it's not a day-to-day, how do you do these little things, but it's all the big stuff. See, this is different from Malcolm's time and King's time. Do you realize that Martin Luther King was 51 years ago? And they're trying to sell us the same pattern of action. Why wouldn't there be an upgrade, right? We told people, remember the elections beyond Malcolm? It was 20 years ago almost. Malcolm, he's our hero, but what are we doing now? What did Malcolm talk about then that's applicable to this war and all of that stuff now? The only thing the same is colonialism, neo-colonialism. The power structure, but that power structure is breaking down. The Western power structure, Malcolm would say, well, when he feel like he's going down, he'd pass it off to the other, which was true about colonialism. We're in a new stage. This is sometime the new world gradually, it always comes kind of gradually. It never comes like, boom, this is new. And you look up and you say, man, this is deep right here. The last few years, just in all of this stuff, the kids that was born with all of this stuff, they have never seen no landline telephone, right?
I remember I took my son to the Spy Museum,
right?
And they had a landline in there
right.
that showed where they used to put bugs.
Bugs.
And my son said, he saw the phone, he said, "What is that?"
Right? It's unbelievable. The technology, we have to control our technology, not technology control us. We have to slow it down and manage it. We don't need to new stuff every week. right? In other words, we have to get control of our life. If we don't get control of the thing, we need some new stuff when you want it, right? You don't have to have it. We could deal with a few medical upgrades and stuff like that, diseases, but we don't need no whole lot. You got a computer there? They could put a zillion things in that thing right now, and it's good for 10, 15, 20 years. You don't need to, because they already got it, but they put it up. This model, now you got to get another model. It's a game. They got the stuff already. Okay? Let me try to speed up. Our assignment, our vision, our mission is to do this job. This is, dear believe, this is the best job. And I'm going to move toward Allah prepares you for a job. Those lucky people are the ones that realize what their assignment is in this life. And if they get to do some of it too, man, it's nothing like it. The things about isolation, cutting us off. I started going to the penitentiary in 1957. For the first time I was 56, doing alcohol. But I always went to the hole. I always wound up in the hole. I didn't know why. But I thought about it later. All the other kids, when they wanted attention, they beat up another little black kid or something like that. I never did that. I always challenged the system. The white man, I made fun of him. Whatever it was, I liked attention, that's the way I got it. But I always went to the hole because what you're doing is not good. You are undermining our authority. So you got to go to the hole. The other kids do stuff, they don't go to the hole. But in the hole, you're there all by yourself. And I tell everybody, when I went into exile, I went by myself. When I started the Masjid, I started it by myself. When I did all certain things, it was by the self. So when they isolate you and cut you off, they didn't put you in your best. You perform better, although you can't make a rebellion by yourself, but you perform better at a higher level by yourself. But now we're going to kick in all the institutions. For us rising to the occasion means we're going to rise to the occasion to produce all the institutions. I mean, right now, that's what we're doing right now. All of these notes go into something that forms a way of thinking. We're going to teach that way of thinking. We're going to teach those survival techniques to other people. That was our job. That was our assignment. Our assignment is not over. We're just beginning. That's been our assignment all along. And you have different assignments at different times, but they're all pushing in the same direction. Man, this is wonderful. So we have to build all the necessary institutions. So we have to rise to the occasion of our time. Booker T. Washington rose to the occasion of their time. The boys and Malcolm and King, all of those people rose to the occasion of their time. Now we're rising to the occasion of our time. I do want to say about all of this global mixing and direction. We have to realize something. Maybe it'll take a little time, but black people have to realize that they got people amongst them that know way more than white folks. It ain't a damn white person in the United States that's been as accurate as we have just in the last 3 weeks. Just name one. You see them on TV where? Well, it's nowhere. They don't exist. Right? They don't have the information. They don't understand. Because they have been fed and they feed people toxic food. It's not wholesome. It's full of either sugar or salty or pork. It's not healthy. The American people are not bad people. They just haven't been felt. Corporate media have not fed them enough for them to stand up and face, to analyze. Memory, just memory. Like they can't remember if something, the news cycle is so fast. Oh, we was telling people about Malcolm X. We say when they make a movie about him, they're destroying him. Why? Because they bring him in, that's the style. And then 1 year later, if you're wearing a Malcolm X hat, oh, that's out of style. Malcolm's out of style. They put Malcolm out of style in the 90s by bringing him in. These people is dirty. Okay. So it's our job. In order to do that job, you have to have certain character. You have to be fearless. You have to be when you have victories, you have to be non-arrogant. Non-arrogant means that you're not susceptible, even during periods of what we call spiritual or functional ecstasy. That means you're so elated that you're in a type of ecstasy, but it's functional. You function in that period. And then you have to have passed through certain things that when you do have a string of victories, you're thankful to Allah. Because you know that you were just blessed and you're thankful to be a part of, that Allah allow you to walk into that situation and be in it and do a little 1%. I mean, it's not 1%, but we just say, the hadith said, Allah stretch out his hand, and he stretch out to, if you come to Allah walking, he come to you running. It ain't that, no. Then the people be thinking that Allah is running. I don't want to digress, but one of the Negroes, you could tell who it was. He said, he liked Ben Baz and all of that. Yeah, all of Ben Baz, so he was saying, Allah's throne is over the waters, and Allah is on the throne. Ayatul Kursi is the throne, and the hadith to go with it. I said, Allah is not sitting on the throne. Allah is not, it's talking about Allah's power and majesty, but Allah is not 900,000 feet tall and he's sitting on a 200,000 foot throne. That ain't happening. Stuff about nothing, man. Well, where is Allah? I said, Allah is right here in my neck. Astaghfirullah. I said, well, the Quran says, you're going to take it literal. It says, Allah is closer to you than your jugular vein. Right? Astaghfirullah. I said, well, what are you talking about? It does it say there he is? So Allah is closer to me than this, right here. That's where, you want to look at it, where Allah is, right there in my neck. That's where he is. You want to take it literally. In Ben Baz, the Quran said those that are blind in this world are going to be blind in the next world. Tell the truth, don't say that. So your homeboy, Ben Baz, the big sheikh in Saudi Arabia, ain't he blind? Stuff from love. I said, no, I'm just talking about you saying all of this. I ain't saying, you're saying that that's literal. The book is literal. So part of it is literal. It says, this is the mother of the book. This is some of the comment. It's just like what it says. That's it. Some of it is allegorical. And the people that's got a funny part, a funny bone, they always trying to find the part that's allegorical and make it be something else. But the people of knowledge know, we said we believe in all of the book. Stuff of love, I gotta go. I said, yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. This is, have you ever had those types of arguments?
Yes.
This is real stuff. And they real about it. I mean, they ain't just like, I say, hey man, you can wait here, I'm going. I don't want to have nothing to do. So build the necessary institutions, rise to the occasion of our time. Iran, lifelong commitment. That means about us. We're committed to this. Nobody can tell us you're with us today, you're with us tomorrow. We're committed to the Islamic Republic as long as that's what it is. Or it's half of what it is. You know what I mean? When it reaches a tipping point going backwards, then we say, well, nice folks, but so now it's way over the line. So we made a commitment to it. We didn't make a commitment if it goes good, if it goes right. And out of that commitment, a lot of the same characteristics we acquired. We believe in martyrdom, but you really believe in martyrdom when you hang around with certain people. You know what I mean? You can taste it. That was a time, and it's getting back to that too. You could taste it. You could, hey man, that's the way the people of Iran are getting. They're headed in that direction right now. They're getting right back to, and that includes the people of Lebanon. And you ain't seen nothing when the Shias get souped up in Qatif and all the eastern provinces. Hey man, they're gonna stretch out. Okay, so that means we're living in a new world, a coming new world. And we always wanted to be ushers of the new world. We always wanted to participate in the new world. That's what we're doing. This sounds crazy. I want everybody that's watching this to know it ain't no Negroes on this level doing this kind of job, talking this talk, and living it right now. It ain't nobody doing it. We know that you're sitting there that, well, that's too bad. You just have to get yourself together. And you listen to the last 3 or 4 DVDs, and then after that, you keep going all the way back, all the way back. Don't go forward, go backwards. And you're going to see that there are people who are in tune with this stuff. Okay, public goes on, extreme ignorant. Well, how did we get here? Well, America is extremely ignorant and extremely arrogant. So it was easy. That's how we got. That's how we did what we did. Just okay. But see, if the people wasn't thinking, this is one of the main things the West believes so a man thinketh, so is he. We know so people believe. If you believe you are something, you're going to be that. If you think you're something, just a little bit of it going to rub off on you. And you might make it to where you think you belong. But belief is stronger than thinking, I think I am. You know, I believe I am. So, what we did was we hooked the Americans. It's like hooking a fish. And it was easy to hook them because they never thought Negro, no, not that, Negro, that was our greatest weapon. What he thought about us was our greatest weapon. It made it technically, because people said, Allah make it easy. I said, Allah made it easy. So this is the easiest job I ever had in my life. It is really, I mean, it really like, just like when I walk around with my head up in the clouds and stuff like that and digging in the garden, that's exactly the way I feel like. That's the way I, you know, right? You haven't seen me looking all around and what, you know, right? That ain't happening. That ain't happening. This is easy. Sometimes the training is harder than the fight. And I think this is what Allah wanted for us, that we go through the training, and that'd be the most difficult part. And the fight is easy. At least it is now. The most difficult part is going putting it down, keep putting it down, and get it out to the people. But I think we're in a great leap forward. On the Iranians themselves. Remember when we was outside the Islamic Center last few weeks ago? And there was a press guy, he was, now you're going to be on such and such TV. This so-called friend of mine. He's supposedly been a conduit of, but he's with the bad guys. That ain't the bad guy. He's with the unconscious Iranians, I'll put it that way. Yeah, because the study, our research showed that all the ones that are here, that stayed here, that had a spike in the system. See, all the ones that work downtown at the Duff Tower